start me out muted, but it says that I'm not muted, so it must actually work. It's weird. Haven't gotten that issue in the past couple of streams. Remember back at the old Monday morning coffee days, where every time I tried to open up a stream, my mic would be muted and I couldn't get it to work because the entire thing was just screwed on Streamlabs. And it actually hasn't happened in a while, so hey, that's a good thing. Welcome to Monday Morning Coffee. This is episode number 25, a big milestone. I think, well, we do these every week, so that would mean that we have done like 6 months worth, approximately speaking. I have a coffee, I have a list of topics, and I'm going to talk about these topics until I finish the coffee. Notice a key word change in that intro. I started saying topics instead of questions. I feel like topics at this point makes more sense than questions does. This is still my morning. We're kind of on time. It's 10:07. You know, it's before noon, which means it's technically still morning. It is not like pre-noon. It's just morning. So I am still on time. Thank you. This is still my morning coffee, my morning cup. So that makes it even more legitimate. I did kind of leave this out for a while so that I could make it, because I made this at like 7. So it's been around for like 3 hours. But I wanted to make sure I had it. And at this point, it's like halfway done. So I might actually also finish the coffee on the stream. Even though it's going to be a short stream, I might actually finish the coffee. So overall, this will be a very, very successful episode. I'm gonna actually open this window. I was going back and forth, but I think actually, because then we get the light balance. See, you see my face? So there's like the warmth from the artificial light and then the white from the natural light. It looks a little bit better that way, at least in my opinion. I don't know if that's actually accurate, but that's just how I like it. Anyway, we'll get right to it. This is going to be a relatively short episode again. As I've mentioned, I feel like I can stop calling these episodes relatively short if every episode is relatively short. If every episode is under 30 minutes, then I can't say, oh, by the way, guys, this is going to be an under 30-minute show. Like, at that point, it kind of just becomes the reality. So, of course, the VOD will still be up and everything, so, yeah, who cares? Who cares if it's short? Who cares if it's only a 15-minute stream? You can always just look at the video. So, this is going to be a short stream. It's also going to be a weirdly technical stream. I'm going to be talking about kind of our advertising strategy for JBR, and not necessarily this channel, but sort of that scope of like a Stukery. That thing. That. Sort of the premise going forward and strategy going forward. That part's going to be kind of boring, so I'm going to start off with something a little bit more interesting, which is a new schedule for these streams. It's not an entirely new schedule. It's just a show that I do want to bring back, a regular who continuously comes back because it is a very successful show to have. And then I stop doing it, and then it gets lost, and then I do it again, and then it gets lost, and I do it again. I am, of course, talking about Indie Game Roundup. So we did do one episode of Indie Game Roundup on this channel, and it was very successful. And I would love to make that a regular occurrence. I think I said that right out the gate once we finished that episode. I just forgot to actually set up something. So I'm thinking I could probably do the same schedule for it that I did with that I did originally. Because originally it was every other Wednesday. So I'm thinking I'm going to set that every other Wednesday. It won't be for a couple of Wednesdays, just because we're finishing up some games on the, stream. But I'm thinking, the schedule then from there on out will be Monday Morning Coffee on Monday, a fun stream on Thursday, and then Wednesday alternates between a fun stream and a Indie Game Roundup. I feel like that is kind of the optimal condition of, like, I still get to make a lot of progress in the fun games that we've been streaming, but also I get to have the Indie Game Roundup segment, which is very nice. Because that gets the views. I've been looking at what gets the most views on this channel. It's the shorts, believe it or not, and specifically the indie game roundup stuff. I mean, not necessarily on this channel, but when I was back on JBR, it was also the most successful thing on JBR, which is why I'm extrapolating that a little bit. But yeah, and I mean, it's still gonna be on this channel. It's still gonna be streamed here. Like, I mean, that was kind of implied by what I said, but just so you know, like, it's going to be streamed on this channel. It's not going to be streamed on JBR anymore because I feel like it is a better fit for this channel just because it is us just hanging out playing video games. So I feel like that makes sense. So that's, in addition, you will see a regular system for Indie Game Roundup soon. It will not be like this Wednesday. It probably won't even be next Wednesday. I'll have to incorporate it into the schedule somehow, but just know that there's an Indie Game Roundup coming soon, and once there is an Indie Game Roundup, you will start seeing regular Indie Game Roundups from there on out. And I'll probably make it its own playlist too once we like really get started with them. 25% way to done. I'm 25% done with this cup of coffee, which means that in this last half of the stream, so this could be like a 15-minute long stream, I could finish 25% of a cup of coffee. So we're making excellent pacing is what I'm trying to say. So ad strategy. I've been doing ads for a while now for pretty much everything, for Stukery, for promoted posts, for JBR. It's really successful because it's a very, very small amount of money. Like, I could easily fit that within my small business budget, which is not that big because it's pretty much just a portion of my salary. But it's very, very cheap. So it's like, oh, this is a great way to do it. And then I feel like the strategy is sort of to build up with kind of awareness, because that's what paid ads are for, really. They're for awareness. They're not really as sticky per se. But the focus on building up awareness for the different products and the different, things that we're working on, whether it be something creative, like the release of Boys and Girls on December 21st, 2022. There's a long distance, whatever. Such as Boys and Girls, or the JBR courses, or the new stories stuff on TikTok, and everything like that. So, impressions, because of that, impressions are important, at least for ads, but I also do still want to focus on stickiness, and I feel like a good measure of the quality of an ad is stickiness. So, for example, when I'm doing ads for the first time and I have no idea how well they're going to be, I'm going to just focus on what projects are important, right? So I'm just going to release ads for JBR courses, Boys and Girls, the TikTok stories, and we're just going to release ads like that, and then, focus on those for the initial release of ads, and just like to experiment with, right? So, when I experiment with new types of ads, it's going to be for one of those categories that I just need a lot of awareness for. But then, once those ads happen, we can kind of filter them out by how sticky they are. And when I say stickiness, I mostly mean, does it get people to stay, right? So a good example of this is for Twitter. So we did the Life of Strategy Guide Twitter ads, right? And those were really successful because those were like $30 for 1 million impressions. So those were great. That's an example of like how cheap all this stuff is, which is fantastic. But the stickiness isn't in somebody looking at the Twitter post. It's not even in somebody retweeting and liking and replying to the Twitter post. The stickiness in that case is followers. Do we get followers out of making those tweets? And we do. We don't get any sales, which is sad, but I feel like you don't get sales from ads, you get sales from stickiness. So you get sales from the people who stay followed, or the people who stay in like the Discord. So for example, if we ever ran JBR ads, a good example for JBR stickiness would be how many people join the JBR community afterwards. Or even for TikTok stories or Boys and Girls, we probably want people to go to like the either to the newsletter or the Discord, preferably the Discord. And so if we can get people like that, then it's a successful ad. On the other hand, if we get hundreds of thousands of impressions, thousands of link clicks, but then like one or two people who joined the Discord, then it's a failed ad, because at the end of the day, that's what we're going for. Like, we're going for leads, we're going for all that sort of stuff, because those are going to be the people who would actually end up buying anything. It's not going to be the people who see the ad for the first time. They're like, whatever. That's kind of like a marketing 101 thing. And I know some people, actually, I don't really know the demographic. I don't know the deep details of the demographic of this channel, so I don't know if any of you are marketing majors or something. But that's kind of like the first thing you learn is the marketing funnel. So it's kind of basic. It's like one of those weird things where it's like too technical for a normal person, but too basic for a person who actually knows what this is. But hey, it's Monday morning coffee. Ladies and gentlemen, we're halfway through the year, episode 25. Also, sorry for missing Thursday. Thursday was a weird day. Thursday, my schedule was just completely out of whack, and like, for some reason, like, I had nothing on the morning, but then everything on the afternoon, and usually I try to do everything in the morning and nothing in the afternoon so I can do the stream. But it was just like a weird one-off case. There wasn't anything specific that happened. I wasn't in the ER this time. It was just like random stuff. So, with that being said, I do need to we need to get this to 15 minutes, and I do need to finish the coffee. So even though I was kind of done with everything I wanted to say, like I said, not that much. I need to stop saying that, though. It's never that much. It's a very short, like, just update, like, hey, here's how we're doing on everything. I need to just focus on that. We are doing great. Oh, so, I mean, I guess I could talk about what we're doing in the ad front. So the Twitter ads have actually stopped. They were good, but with Twitter dying and everything, I don't want to spend like too much money on Twitter, right? Because yes, I am. It is a good turnaround. So like we got 24 followers out of that. So we're around 250 followers right now. But if Twitter dies and those 250 people become 0 people, I'm no longer interested. So we're stopping. We're doing like every every couple of weeks, right? Because we did the first couple in January, and now we're doing a couple in March, and we're gonna stop and we're gonna wait and see what happens. Because I don't want too much of the budget going to Twitter if Twitter does not survive. I also experimented with some Pinterest ads. Pinterest is really weird in the ad front, but I finally figured it out. You want to do promoted pins, like per usual. You don't want to do you don't want to do like those crazy ad campaigns because those are real complicated and like what I would like to see as a metric. This is interesting because you can't measure this really as a metric on Pinterest, but I would love, so for example, our ads are all boys and girls concept art, right? My goal for these ads is not impressions, and it's not link clicks, it's saves. Because if you get a lot of clicks, like, okay, that's great, people are going into boys and girls, they might be reading the, sample chapters and looking at stuff and seeing more of it. But if you save it to your profile, that is a good, that there is a good chance then that you actually enjoy it, right? Because you can click it and be like, oh, this is fucking stupid, or like you can misclick, right? You can like accidentally click it. But if you saved it, that tells me that you actually probably enjoyed this. So for these ads, this is a great example. So these are new ads, right? So these are brand new stuff. I don't really know much about their success, so I'm focusing it on boys and girls because boys and girls is a big deal. And now my measure of stickiness for these ads would be, well, first of all, if anybody joins from the Discord, because there should be a Discord link in the boys and girls page. I actually don't think there is, but I should add one. But also, it's saves. So I'm looking at saves, preferably saves per impression. So whoever really has the highest, maybe like, so right now there are 1, 2, 3, 4 ads running right now. So maybe I choose the 2 with the highest save per impression ratio. Keep those going. Bring in a couple more because these are kind of basic pictures also. So I can bring in some more complicated pictures, rope those in as another 4 do the save slash impression ratio on all of those. Keep those ones. That's an example of the strategy that I'm going for. Anyway, we're past 15 minutes, and I have no coffee left. Thank you for watching this episode of Monday Morning Coffee, sponsored by... There is no sponsor, I lied. Wednesday. So, I don't remember what I was going to do on Thursday. I think Thursday was supposed to be a grab bag, right? But we didn't end up doing it. So maybe Thursday will either be Skyrim or Half-Life Alyx, leaning towards Skyrim at this point. Thursday will be maybe a grab bag. It'll be a grab bag specifically of games we've played already. It won't be new game grab bag. It'll be old game grab bag. So expect something, it could be Skyrim again, or it could be Alyx, or it could be Sorcery Part 2, or it could be Noita, or modded Teardown, or, I think I almost did Final Fantasy XIV, because technically there is continuity in Final Fantasy XIV, because that was like one of the first streams that I did back when we were on Twitch for Friday Fun stream specifically. So we'll see. But until then, I will see you guys in the next one, and look forward to eventually Indie Game Roundup becoming a staple on this channel. But until then, I'll see ya. I almost clicked end stream again. I'm supposed to click outro. Thank you.